Here we go. Having a little technical difficulties there, guys. Sorry about that. If you guys can hear me in the chat, please let me know. Can you guys hear my voice? They lie. Ohio says I'm late. Lord Gale's in the house. All right, let's do this. All right, I'm gonna have a special guest joining tonight. I hope there's no technical difficulties. All right, let's go to the top 5. The first 5 in. It's a tradition here on Validation Boy live stream. In at number 1, They Lie, Ohio. In at number 2, Conspiracy Mystic. In at number 3, Vlad. Well, not really. I guess technically, number 3 would be Jed's Skeptic Media. And number 5 would be Flat Earth Vancouver, BC. Number 6, Nathan Oakley. All right, guys. Nathan says, hey, Glenn, you're a potato. Glenn says, hey, nice to see the potatoes giving back to the community. We got Earth Sweetheart in the house. Ooh, Nathan says, you were on Free Chan with Patricia. Hey, Glenn, you are associated now. You fucking potato. Oh, man. I want to personally thank Nathan Oakley for helping me out the other day. I decided not to go with what he helped me with because I would lose a bunch of views on my channel. You know, I'd lose like, 300 views or something. And I put on the thing, podcast starts at 19 minutes after, so. But thank you anyways, Nathan, for your help. Now I know how to do that in the future. It was really nice of you. So there's a lot to talk about tonight. I really hope that my guest will show up real soon. He's got a lot of interesting things that he's got going on that I'd like to talk to him about. Lori Gale's in the house. All right, I see you. I see you, Vlad. Are you there? I cannot hear you. Cannot hear you. Conspiracy Mystic says Coca-Cola barf. See, I'm hearing some crackles. I'm hearing something. I don't know what the deal is. Rock Vibrations is in the house. Man, I don't know what the deal is, man. Everything's like normal on my side. Crackles, right? Yeah, crackles. That's all I'm hearing. Flat Earth Vancouver says, I hope this special guest is a potato hater. It's possible. I'm not going to speak for him. Coca-Cola is that special poison. Just nothing but crackles, man. Nothing but crackles. You there?
How about now?
Oh, yeah. There it is.
You can hear me now?
You with me? Oh, yeah.
Hell, I wonder if the headset has something to do with it.
I don't know. Did you unplug the headset? Now it works?
Yeah.
Okay. I noticed on my last video, I totally had the feedback or the delay hitting me the whole time. And I'm not sure if it was coming from Lori's stuff or if it was coming from my stuff or it was coming from both of me and Lori. But because every time that she pressed mute, it went away. But then also when she was on mute and I was talking, it was still there at other times. So
I want to plug another headset in real quick. Hold on.
Okay, no problem.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
That's weird. This is a cheaper one too. It's just a headphone is all I have in here. It's just a single headphone, not even stereo.
Wow. So yeah, I said I'd get you in here.
Awesome, thanks.
I just had to I had to drop a video real quick before we went live.
Yeah, I seen that.
It's concerning Tim Osmond. The guy's funny, bro. I mean, you don't have to make any comments if you don't want to, but I'm just gonna go on about Tim Osmond for a second.
Have at it.
Tim Osmond was on Jed's show. You know, me and Jed, even though we have drastically different opinions on the shape of the earth and what constitutes evidence for the shape of the earth, we still get along. Still get along really well because he's a very intelligent guy, you know. And of course, I'm extremely intelligent, you know, as we all know. No, so me and him get along pretty well. But then I was listening to him and Tim Osmond last night, and they were saying something that had happened with you, something I guess on a Free Chan show, and the way that Tim was talking about you, whew, man, I found it rather disgusting. I think a guy who's pushing 40 like Tim and is going to resort to, like, you know, making fun of someone's like voice or something like that, it's got a long way to go emotionally. I feel like
Jed was too. So
oh, Jed was doing it too, I guess, right? Yeah.
yeah, that's right. I had actually jumped in it and seen that or heard him talking about it. So yeah.
Yeah, I was rather disappointed to hear that coming out of Jed. I know Jed, you know, is I know Jed gets a lot of heat too, though, you know, but I don't really understand why Jed would come out and attack you. Like, what kind of stuff were you asking in the Poncho Chan?
Well, me and Pancho had got into it about abortion and all that stuff. That came up, and he's trying to say that we don't know what the woman's going through or a girl, and I was like, I was trying to say it's a a two-way street, and we just got in a big old yelling match. I got kind of emotional about a couple things, and they were saying stuff about that. I thought that was pretty fucked up, but oh well.
So it wasn't flat Earth oriented stuff that you guys have been talking about?
No, it's personal. It's personal stuff actually. And another thing, him, I guess, no, because of my voice. Now I've had to deal with my voice my whole entire life. And everybody's always made fun. And hell, my nephews that live here, and they're in their late teens, early 20s, and they make fun of me because of it. They try to act like my voice. And it's like that. It is what it is. But just on that merit alone, Jed and his wife decided that, because I was talking about me having a daughter, an only child, and to me, that was my decision. And they're saying I was lucky that I even had that. That was just because of my voice. So yeah. Whatever.
Man, my girlfriend got really fucking pissed when she heard Jed saying that. She's like, "Really? Jed said some shit like that?" Like, ooh, like she was fucking upset. She was like, "Really? That's pretty fucking pathetic, dude." Like she's kind of like, "Yeah, fuck Jed. I don't think you should talk to him anymore." That's what she said to me. It's like, wow, man.
Apparently, Jed and I don't know who the other guy is. It's got like 50 million different names people call him by. I guess they think I'm all in cahoots with Poncho Pete and everybody. And they gave me an outlet to be able to talk about stuff. and I'm thankful for that. I know you have too with your chat stuff. You've always read my comments, and Jed did too for a while.
Mhm.
But so I'm not like trying to because I never said nothing about Jed on there. And I know there's been a few times that I was a couple times I was on there. I didn't even know it was him that they were talking about because the pictures I didn't realize it was him. You know, I
Oh.
wasn't just enjoying. Like, oh yeah, Jed this, Jed that. I never said one freaking word. So I don't know why he has to say stuff about me when I wasn't even saying nothing. I mean, I didn't go to his defense, but I didn't start attacking them like they think I'm doing. I just that's frustrating. I mean, I'm
I
just
mean, I wasn't there, so I can't say
yeah.
for sure.
I know I can't remember which one it was in. They do it every 8 hours, so
Yeah.
but they've all been cool
Um.
there, so I can't say anything bad about him. And Poncho Pete's who he is, and the crazy wacky guy, and I don't have a problem with that. He's not. I don't feel he's got any kind of agenda. He does crazy songs and does some weird videos, but it's not got no hidden agenda from what I've seen because I watched quite a few of them. And this crazy wild stuff. I mean, he's got a lot more courage than I do. Some of the stuff he does, it's just so wacky. It's like, what the hell, this guy? Wow, I wish I could do some of that, but especially with the singing. So, and for him to have a confidence to do that, I can't, bash him for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the editing and stuff that's cheesy, but it is what it is.
Well, there's a lot of drama, bro, and like Validation Boy, my channel it's a hub for the fucking drama. It really
I
is.
think I'm not trying to start no drama. I was
I
that's
know.
it. Me and Poncho got into it because he's trying to be saying that all women are we don't know what they're going through. They're this, they're that. They're the only ones basically the only ones getting abused. I'm like, guys get abused too. By other guys and women. So it's a two-way street, and it's both sides get abused. And all that stuff like that. So we got in a big old yelling match about that. That's what's really started it all. Then I got into no more in detailed stuff, and now I'm being made fun of because of that. Because I did get emotional because I had a sister that when I was I'm a year and a half older than her, and she was 15, she ended up getting pregnant by a friend of mine. And I, her, the guy, and even her friends were trying to get her to get an abortion. So this is my niece is 30 years old now. So I know that's thinking about all those years, all the and it was just awesome to be able to have her in our life at that time because there was a lot of other family issues going on. And that's what got me emotional. I wouldn't sit there crying like they tried to say I was. I just got kind of choked up for a second. But that was it, and that kind of bothered me
Yeah,
that
we're
they were
talking.
making fun of me because of that.
Yeah, we're talking about life. We're talking about human lives. You know what I'm saying?
But and the reason I brought that up is because everybody, that's not just because of flat Earth that I feel this way. I've always felt that way. I mean, I say I was only 17 years old. Yeah, I was 17. So it's been a lifelong thing. I've always been against that. And I say I'm not trying to start. I'm not bashing anybody. I'm just pointing out things that I've seen that are facts. I said it is what it is. They want to take it that way, then I don't know what to do about that.
Well, Jed over here is saying Poncho's a clown. Poncho's last few hangouts have been dedicated to Jed, and that you sit there, Vlad.
Yeah,
Like,
that's right. Yeah, I've listened to it. I don't know what to. I mean,
I don't know if Jed expects you to.
I'm not going to his rescue. I didn't said that. Yeah, I haven't done that. But that's not just sitting there bashing them either. That's what they're implying. That I'm just over there, just jumping on a bandwagon. That's not true.
Hmm.
And Pancho does get carried away with it. It's pretty
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, he just goes wild.
I personally don't like Poncho Pete and his stuff that much. I know I never really spoken to him. I've spoken to him directly like once or twice, but he acted really silly to me, and I think it's just from my the old times that I dissed like Trisha and stuff, and he's just like one of her loyal lapdogs, and you know that's why he just doesn't like me.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to sit here and like talk about Poncho. I just know that I'm not really a fan of his stuff.
And then
I don't think he's a fan of me.
Jed's saying I'm kissing his ass even when he called me a cunt. Yeah, he called me a cunt a couple of times. I had told him he fucking had. he didn't be calling me that, and I thought we got things cleared up. I'm pretty sure I didn't leave on that, leave on a bad
So
note.
you were trying to
Because
smooth things over?
well, I think we had a misunderstanding, and he just was adamant about what he was saying. I was adamant about what I was saying. And once we calmed down, and I started talking, we were on the same page with all this, this stuff about abortion and child abuse and women and all that stuff like that. But he just, unlike, they thought I was talking bad about women, and I was like, that's not what I was saying, dude. So I got things cleared up. Yeah, I'm not. Oh, we're Pancho, do this. I must just listening. I didn't realize he took over because I was in there about 3 weeks ago. It's been about a month now, off and on, and way before he was even in there. I don't know what that guy Vince was doing by putting him in all his name and stuff, because some guy named Vince that runs it.
Yeah, so Vince just made it the Pancho Pete channel.
Yeah, it's called Pancho Pete Chan, free or something like that.
Is it true what Jed says about how Pancho Pete just sits on his couch just being a fucking idiot?
I don't know. And that's yeah, he has like a sheet or something in the background, so I don't know where he's sitting.
Huh.
I do know him and Vince both say that they sit on their couch and all they do is drugs and drink all day. I think they're fucking with everybody. And they're saying all that.
Yeah. Well, my channel is a hub for drama. I'm a magnet for drama. Everybody knows that. It's okay though. Let's see here. I gotta pause this other video. I got the other video playing. I hope that's not bleeding through this whole time.
Yeah, I've been hearing it.
Damn it, really?
But enough of that. Let's go on.
Yeah, enough about that, I'm not gonna sit here and waste my time talking about Tim Osmond, dude. The dude is fucking pathetic, bro. The thing about Tim Osmond, okay, he's literally produced zero content in his entire history. All he does is he has like 20 channels, 20, different sock accounts, and he just runs around trolling people because and everything he does is reactionary. He's never come up with a single original thought in his own life. And then there was this time when Dan Pratt, you know who Daniel Pratt is?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there was a time when Dan Pratt made a video. Man, I got this dumbass hip hop idiots in my neighborhood blasting their shitty ass music. Let me turn this down for a second. I got a bunch of wannabe ghetto thug homies that live around here, and they think they're so thugging and bugging and tough. They ain't jack shit, and they blast their shitty ass music all over the place all night. So I had to shut the window a little bit. Sorry, bro.
No problem.
But yeah, Tim Osmond's never produced a single piece of content ever, and if he has, it's useless garbage. He's a total supporter of the system. He basically worships the government and thinks that the government's like extra cool, and he like wishes that he could work for the government. He'll never admit to it. He's a complete normie. He hates all conspiracy theorists because he's totally afraid. He's so afraid. He's like a weak little child when it comes to like his fear. He fears everything, He fears the government and he worships the government. I've seen footage of parts of, part of him. I'm pretty sure that he suffers from bulimia. And I think that it has a lot to do with the fact that he's kind of like a valley girl. He's from California. He's like a little prima donna. It's been said that his dad is some kind of very powerful politician. He admits that he's never had to work a day in his life. He's never, lifted a finger to, do a job. He's not really like a man, like a man's man. You know what I'm saying? He's really like a big coward and a big vagina. And he essentially, at one point he was threatening that he was going to start sending dick pics to me, bro. It's like, bro, I don't roll that way, Tim Osmond. I don't do that, bro. So he can be a weird creep, but he's nothing to be afraid of. He's a small child. He's emotionally hung up, and it's kind of cringy to see Jed like hanging out with him and thinking he's so cool and taking the shit that comes out of his mouth seriously, when everything that comes out of the guy's mouth can just be easily debunked and thrown in the trash. But, there was a while there where Tim was starting to grow on me, but to see him behave like he's been behaving, it's just a huge disappointment. I thought, he had, Tim deserves his voice to be heard, but not really anymore, especially after that. And I don't even know what they're talking about when they talk about your voice. What's wrong with your voice? What are they talking about?
I don't know. Jed just said it was weird, and he's trying to act like me. Watch the hang out with him and whoever the guy is, Tim Osmond.
Yeah, Tim Osmond. Tim Osmond, I think, is officially like the biggest coward in the entire YouTube truth scene. I'm pretty sure everyone knows that. I'm pretty sure he admits to it himself that he's a big, like, useless coward that doesn't really know much. But anyways, okay. Enough about that guy. So I watched your latest video, and it was about an airplane. You were in an airplane, and you were getting footage of chemtrails, or what appeared to be chemtrails, right beside you in an airplane.
What's that?
Yeah, I just watched your latest video on flat, still Earth.
Oh, no, you said something about a headphone.
No, chemtrails.
Oh, I must have cut out. Yeah, I did that by accident. I was just taking video of the horizon and stuff and the clouds and, the way I could see down below, because there was actually 2 layers of clouds.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was going, and all of a sudden I seen that streak, and I was like, what the heck? And then we got caught up to it because it was just in front of the wing, and I couldn't get my phone around for the camera to get the actual plane, but you could see it coming out. That it wasn't. So somebody kept saying that it was the jet fuel coming out, the contrails. But I was like, there's no way in hell, because I never seen that stuff before, not up close like that. But it isn't. Doesn't last that long, because that thing was long, and I think there's if it shows a pan back, that's why I was panning backwards, you couldn't really see it. But then I seen another one going, because that was north to south, that the main one, and then there's one that went east to west, and I was like, what the hell? This is a trip. So I was like, oh, cool, that got some cool ass video from above too. And it was, this had been about, I'd say about 1,000 feet from us, and that like followed for 10, 20, 30 miles. I should have taken more video, but I thought, 40 was about a minute and a half. That's good enough to show. I couldn't get the plane. It would just get just ahead of that wing, and I couldn't get a picture of the actual plane. But I could see it because I put my face to it, but the camera couldn't get the lens around, because of the way the window is. I was like, man.
So there was another plane right in front of you or right beside you?
Yeah, that's what it was. It was like not even a couple thousand feet away.
Really?
Yeah. That's what that was.
Why flying so close?
Huh?
Why were they flying so close?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering too, because we followed each other. Well, and even on the other side, I think that was from Dallas to Denver in Colorado, and that was just outside of Denver, because we were just coming into Denver. And then I think that was on the way back from San Francisco to Dallas. There was planes that were coming in at the same, because Dallas Fort Worth airport's pretty big, and there was ones, as we were coming in, you could see ones taking off and going past us a little bit higher, and then ones coming next to us, and landed on another tarmac. I never seen that before. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I think I have video of that. I just didn't put it in there because it wasn't part of what I was trying to do.
Yeah, I've definitely never seen a chemtrail from above, or a contrail, whatever the fuck they want to say that it is. I've never seen that from above like that. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, and that's another thing that they were trying to tell me, that it's that Jim Panda guy, if you know who that is. And he was trying to say that it was that the plane I was in had it too. I was like, I could see pretty far back. There was nothing coming out of those wings. Because the one I was looking at, you could see it, and it was real close to the wings of when it was coming out. In multiple spots, not just where the jet engines were at.
Oh, okay. So you're saying there might have been like dispensers on this?
Oh yeah, it was. That's what I was saying. I wish I could have got video of the plane. It just was just ahead of that wing.
Oh man, that sucks, man. If you could have got footage of shit coming out of the wing that was not on the actual jet,
yeah,
or on the engine, That would have been, bro. That would have been the nail in the coffin.
Well, yeah, at least something. But no matter what, they always have to discredit it some which ways. Just it was frustrating. I talked to this guy for about 2 hours trying to just saying all this stuff and just dispute everything I said. He disputed it. I was
Who,
like,
a
I
pilot?
know, huh?
Was it a pilot?
No, it was that Jim Panda guy in that free chan or that
Oh,
Poncho Pete chan now.
okay. How does he dispute the fact that there's these trails of thick garbage in the air?
He said it was the jet fuel, burning jet fuel, because of the way it that's why they call it contrails, because it's condensating into the environment. I don't want to say that other word, that bad word, atmosphere.
Yeah. So I guess only at certain heights and at certain temperatures, the jet fuel behaves this way. Is that what he was saying?
Yeah, but the plane I was in wasn't doing it, and it wasn't very far away because it was a smaller plane too. It wasn't like a big old giant, um, passenger plane. It was a smaller little plane. It still it was a jet plane, but it wasn't huge.
See, I don't know enough about the difference between standard engines and jet engines and how they behave at different altitudes and what their emissions look like, or if they even exist. But I mean, all my years that I've been around and flying and stuff, I've never seen I've seen planes nearby that are, flying along the same path or whatever. They never had I've seen jets, I've seen regular planes. They don't have any stuff coming out of them like that. That's a new thing, as far as I know.
Yeah. Oh, I want to talk about the new things I'm going to be doing is the signal mirrors. I was going to buy one of the ones, like the military use or for emergencies.
Okay.
But I found out you can just get a regular mirror, and because those signal mirrors have a hole in the center, so you can look through it and you can kind of guide where the reflection goes. But I think I'm going to try it without doing that. I only paid $1 for the mirror. I went to the dollar store and got it and it's probably a 5x7, or no, actually it's probably about a 6x8 mirror, so it's a lot bigger than the ones that they have. They would sell for like $6, $6 to $20. For this survival ones and stuff, because then those are plastic. I wanted to use a real mirror, and that way I can get that sun, because I've I had mirrors before, and you get sun, you blind your friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, so this right here, I want to get and have that 30-mile range. So I'm not going to go over to the Fort Morgan side of the bay, because there's a Fort Morgan and Fort Gaines. Yeah, I think it's Fort Gaines, and I'm gonna go to the Fort Gaines side, which is Dolphin Island. And I want to look up to downtown Mobile, but there's a little turnoff that you can like fish off of the pier there. I want to have somebody go over there on that side and use the mirror and then point it towards the Dolphin Island side. That way I can and have a telescope. Or I'm going to see if I can see it with my naked eye first, and then I want to use a telescope if I can't. I want to be on the phone with them and stuff. I want to have it as low as, but that way I can get as low as possible to the water. There won't be no, elevation disputes at all, because that's been a big thing with these Globers too, is the elevation disputes. So I'm going to be like right on the water. I mean, literally.
Okay. Well, two things though, just to be fair and just to play skeptic devil's advocate for a second.
All right.
First thing, like with Jaren's laser experiment, as the beam travels out, it expands. So will that be a factor in what you're doing? And secondly, if you're going across water, how do you know that the water itself might not be aiding in the reflection or the what do you call it? The atmosphere coming off the water. I don't know what the right word is. The
water particles.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they miss the water particles. Yeah, I've taken that into account, and that's I've looked in how I've been studying for the past probably a week and a half now, and that it's actually the sun. It's going to be a beam of sun. It's not going to be like a laser beam, because it's going to be the sun reflecting. It's a lot more sharper and clearer, and that they can't. It's not going to have all that refraction, because the military uses it all the time. They use it for survival. They've found people. 100. I think it's 138 miles is the longest that if they spotted somebody that's on the ground. So that's 138 miles, pretty damn far to see a beam of the sun. And that's what they're basically doing. They're guiding the sun that's reflecting off of that.
So what time of day are you going to be doing this?
I'm going to try to do, I'm obviously doing it on a clear day, so there's no the haze and no cloud, so I can get the sun. Because I was going to test it the other day when I got the mirror, but it was cloudy over here, overcast, so I couldn't even get the sun. Hell, the sun wasn't even out. I did get the mirror. I just wanted to see how far I can do it in the neighborhood I'm in right now, and shining people's windows.
So you want the sun at an angle. You don't want high noon sun.
Yeah, well, not really. From what I was seeing, you can actually do it at any time. You just got to understand where you're pointing it. Because once you have the sun, because you start out real low, you get the sun, and then you can get it because the sun's going to be in it no matter what. You have it towards the sky, and you just drop it down so you know where you're at, and then you kind of raise it up. And you just go up to the horizon. And they're always talking about the horizon too. And you said you put it in the horizon, you're not even realizing what they're saying. So that so no matter where you're at, that somebody's going to see it from a distance. And I'm like, what the heck? They're not even realizing what they're saying when they're doing this. Because they said you could see it between 50 and 80 miles. That's what they're seeing on these videos I've been watching, and I'm reading some stuff about how to use those things. But then I talked to somebody the other day, and they said that the longest. That's a world record. It was 138 miles that they were doing the signaling, and they could see it from 138 miles away.
Wait, do you know where that was?
I was trying to look it up online. I couldn't find it anywhere.
That's a military record?
Yeah.
Was that? How did that record get brought to your attention?
I was talking to somebody about doing that in that tan thing or the.
Oh, okay.
Another hangout.
Yeah. I mean, you feel like you can trust that person's story.
Yeah. Well, that's why I started looking it up, and I found out a lot more information about it. I was trying to find out what he was talking about, but I couldn't find it anywhere.
So, yeah. So this is a mirror that's what, 5x7?
It might be 6x8. You can just take out get like a little grinder and take off the silver part, and then that way the glass is still there, and you can just cut a little hole and I grind out a little circle, and that way you can look through it.
Okay. Has to be perfectly centered though, right?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah, otherwise it's gonna throw your angle off a little bit.
Yeah, probably so.
Okay. That sounds interesting. I mean, but see, sun reflection, a sunbeam, wouldn't that expand like crazy over space though, over a distance?
That's what I was thinking too. But there was, if you watch some videos of them using it, and it stays the shape because they were showing like a CD. You can actually do it with a CD disc, a DVD. That's all you need is that silver. They're doing with that, and then they're doing it with the little thing, and so it stays the square. It stays the shape that the thing you're using. It will be that shape, and it stayed the same shape. At different distances, you can see it. I mean, see the shape of it. It wasn't getting bigger and fuzzing out. And that's another reason that it's a good thing for survival, because no matter, it said it's not going to be like, oh, what's that little white thing? It's going to be a sun beaming back in your face, to whoever that person is trying to get their attention. And they've used it for I don't know how long, for doing, they used to do Morse code with that because they would, block their hand in front of it, and do the Morse code thing. They used to use that for that too.
Wow. That's crazy, man. I'm surprised nobody in Flat Earth has thought of something like that yet. Maybe they have. I don't know.
I haven't seen any Flat Earth videos about it. I just seen how you can do it for survival and stuff.
It's a good angle to come at.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out, something different, because it seems like everything's been done. So I was just looking at our stuff, and then I know that the reflection of I was like, okay, wait, that's not going to be, you can't bend that light, because it's actually, it's not the light that's coming through to you. You're just seeing the sunlight hitting something is what it is. It's not like a light. It's not a light source. I'm saying that's the difference in it. It's a reflection of the sun. So that's the difference in the two. So I don't think it can. I shouldn't be able to bend. They say it doesn't bend. They were talking about that. Saying a flashlight. Like I said, they did talk about that. The diffusion in your environment. that lights, like people used to use flashlights, but if the weather's bad, that just disperses and then you can't see it. So it's like a little a fuzz, even in the
Yeah.
daylight, or at night too. But obviously you can't. I wonder if you could do that at the moon. That'd be cool. The moonlight.
Yeah, you might be able to. I mean, I don't know. It's not going to have that glare. It's not going to have that.
Yeah, that's not gonna be as bright. And that's actually a full moon tonight too.
Yeah. So, what do you think light is then? Because if you think about this, like light's supposed to be particles. It's supposed to be matter. Some people say, right?
I'm not really sure. I'm thinking it's some kind of energy source. Is it energy?
But if something's energy, then it's matter because energy's matter, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. If you want to say it like that, yeah. It's, I guess, a concentrated energy.
I know, because think about this. Okay. So
No.
you're going to shoot a sunbeam reflection off of a mirror and it's going to go, X number of miles across the bay. Does that mean that light that comes from the sun and hits your mirror and then bounces off, are those particles doing that? You know what I'm
No.
saying? See?
I don't think it
I think
is.
we're
That's
talking
what
about a
you're talking
reflection
about.
off a mirror too. Is it the same physical particle that exists, or is it this energy is going into here and this thing is going to emulate different light out? We don't know. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I'm thinking about that. That's why they were just talking about the differences in the diffusion. That's one of the reasons it's reliable is because it's not being diffused.
Hmm.
Which all your artificial lights, like flashlights, lasers, that's always going to be diffused in as it's traveling. Versus no, and that's what I was thinking too. What I was gonna do at first was use it like the laser or the laser because that'd be the brightest concentrated light source, and then putting it on a mirror, and then at night. I kept thinking night. It's got to be at night, so everything's dark, and you'll see that beam of light. And that's when I was looking into all this. And that's when I came across the signal mirroring. And using the sun and then daytime because no matter what, you're going to see that. Somebody will see it, and if you're looking for it, you're going to see it even easier. And that's what the whole point is. I'm going to get set up in one spot and then have it on the other spot.
Hmm. Hmm.
Well, that's what the experiment's for, to figure this out.
I
To
know.
see if it works,
It's just crazy when you start thinking about real simple things like this, how complex the shit really is, man. Because on the philosophical level, like I was saying, we don't know if light is a particle. We don't know if the light that reflects off your mirror is the same exact particle that was shot into the mirror to begin with. We don't know,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
And if it is energy and if it is particles, and we can just simply move a mirror this way or that and make the beam hit wherever we want, what is light?
Well, how they used to do caves and stuff, or was it the pyramids, or they did other stuff, underground dwellings, and what they did, they would have a mirror. They would have a mirror. They would bouncing back and forth inside this room underground, right? That was their light source, and what it would do is they would brighten up the whole room. They did that thousands of years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, and that's like multiplying the light, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, because what it is traveling from the one mirror to, or whatever it was they used. I'm sure it wasn't glass mirrors, probably steel, shined up steel, and it would go back from one to the other, and they would just kind of go back and forth, and all around this room underground, and and be real deep underground. Not real deep, but it's covered up. And only had that one hole that would where the light came. They had the sun come in, and it would just the whole room would be lit up. Once again, I watched lots of documentaries, and that was in it. And they even showed how they did it. It's like whoa, because they were wondering how that worked. They went and recreated it, and it worked. It's like whoa, that's cool shit. I want to have a house like that.
I know, right? I wonder who thought of that originally. It's crazy. It's fucking awesome, man. So let's see. We got man, I just lost my thought, man. I'm so sorry. We're talking about light. We're talking about. Help me out here, man. I forget what I was trying to get at, man.
That's funny.
We were talking about
The lasers, the long distance, the diffusion of light, all that part, or is it something else?
I think I was just going to say something else anecdotal.
Oh, okay.
In there. So what do you think? So what else you got going on? Is there anything else you want to talk about that you got going on specifically?
I'm still going through my old videos. Like I had 24 videos, and a lot of so I got to not only take out all this other stuff and do some of the voiceovers. I had a lot of the the azimuthal. I don't know how to say that damn word. The AZ map, and then that, and then the one that had the sun and moon above it, and it's kind of like at a 3D angle. I had a lot of that imagery, so I'm going to get rid of all that because I know people are going to say crap. So I'm just going to get rid of all that out of it. So I got to do a lot of re-editing, and it's been really frustrating. So I'm trying to figure out which ones to to put back out first. So that's what I'm just going through that.
Yeah, it's I go back.
Go ahead.
I go back and I listen to my old stuff, and sometimes I get really stressed out. I'm like, oh my God, man, I don't like this part. I don't like this part, but I'm not gonna delete the video or try to redo the video. I only redid one video, and it was the one called Flat Earth Dogmatist. And all I did was subtract stuff out of the original, and then repost a cut down, trimmed down version of the original. And I called it Flat Earth Dogmatist Revisited.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that. I didn't know what the revisited meant because I didn't see. I'm like, okay, where's the other one? What the other parts of this? And there was no other part.
Well, no, there's an original video still up called Flat Earth Dogmatist from many, many months ago. Yeah.
Maybe I didn't go down far enough then.
Yeah, probably. In Flat Earth Dogmatist, the original, I was months ahead of everybody, including Dell and Jed and anybody else, and openly declaring the fact that we can't use anything in the sky to prove the shape of the Earth. And I was wondering, how do you feel about that statement?
Well, yeah, I can agree with that. Because trying to use the sun and moon as stars, and that's up for debate because of we don't really have no physical access to it. And apparently, in this amateur balloon footage videos, the stars seem to disappear. So I'm wondering why the hell that's happening. That doesn't make any sense. But for some reason, I think it's something that we're just seeing from the ground and looking up. And when it gets to a certain point, they disappear for some reason. Why? I do not know. There's something going on. So there's a reason for that.
And also, you got to think about the fact that when you get out into areas with a lot less light pollution, you see a whole bunch more stars.
Yeah, my girlfriend that I have now, when I first met her, probably 3 weeks knowing her. That was what, how long ago now? A year, yeah, a year and a half ago. But we went to Dolphin Island, and it was no moon. I went and made sure it was no moon. So I went out there and we sat on the beach and just looked at the stars. We probably seen 15 shooting stars, whatever we want to call them. That wandering, I think they're wandering. They're doing something up there. But I seen 15 of them. I didn't never think I've seen that many my whole entire life. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And then I started telling her about the flat Earth.
Have you seen Jed's latest stuff about the moon? Any of that?
Well, that's what I was watching.
Okay.
And then I'd watched a couple parts of the stuff. And then I want to hang out with him. I watched, just happened to jump in there, and he just happened to be the part about me. I thought that was weird. But anyways, yeah, I was just watching it. I don't know. I guess I didn't watch enough of it to make any sense of it. It just seemed like the same old stuff.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff that they seem to want to bring up, or that he seems to want to bring up lately. And if you assume that we live on a sphere, then yeah, I can see that stuff working. but that's coming from a point of complete assumption. And I'm not really understanding why Jed is so quick to do that. And I hate to say it, but it almost looks like it's just a personal gripe that he has against flat Earth. I don't understand how you can all of a sudden start accepting something completely non-scientific, something completely untestable as objects in the sky, something that you cannot verify what they even are, and using that and saying that it's real science and that flat earthers are such retards and so stupid, when it's like, well, the moon and the sun, you don't even know what they are, man. And he's kind of going like real hard on this, and it's starting to get scary. I don't know what Jed's doing, man. I'm almost getting scared that Jed might turn on me. But
Let's hope not.
I hope not, man. I mean,
I had nothing bad to say about him. I was kind of disappointed that he said what he said. I was watching his stuff, and what got me watching him was the piss thing, the drinking piss or pishes, he says. And then at first I thought he was a flat earther, and then I kind of realized that he wasn't. But still watched his stuff. It was interesting. It was just something to laugh at when he would talk about all the people I don't agree with. But then so I didn't have no problem with it at all.
Well, there was a while there where he was a really strong advocate for flat Earth theory. And then he, started going back to thinking it's a globe and stuff. And
see, I don't see how it's even possible.
I know, right? Once you go flat, you can't go back.
Yeah, and that's just mind-blowing. So I'm just shocked in it. I can't imagine anybody actually doing that.
I'm in a tough position today because me and Jed get along so well, and I totally trust him, and I'm pretty sure he totally trusts me. And we've been taking little jabs at each other indirectly for our last couple videos and stuff. And I really don't want to beef with Jed. I'm not even sure I want to like really beef with anybody anymore, And it's just tough for me, man, because he seems to be set on this war path right now. And I think a lot of it has to do with Tim Osmond. And for some reason, I feel like Jed is feeling some kind of need to like impress Tim Osmond right now or something, and maybe even like kiss up to him a little bit or something. But Jed will say that he just respects Tim for, being intellectually honest. But the thing is that all Tim Osmond uses is straight up big science, NASA lie material to present any of his arguments. He's never presented an argument without using NASA. And there seems to be a major cognitive dissonance happening inside Jed's mind right now. And I'm concerned, man, because the guy's brilliant. And then he's having this major cognitive dissonance, and now he's attacking people that I thought were considered, friendlies, such as you and stuff. He said that he had his beef with Poncho Pete, and then that you were involved. I don't see how attacking you.
I didn't get involved. That was between them, and I just.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I left it alone. I didn't want to add any fuel to any kind of fire because he was pretty adamant about how he felt about Jed.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
I mean, how do you feel about the fact that Flat Earth has become this big drama fest?
This spectacle of I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know, and it's hard to say because it seems to draw people in, but if that's all they're coming for, then it's pointless.
But do people really only come for the drama? I think that the people are here for the flat Earth and the science and the philosophy of it and the mind-blowing factor of flat Earth. And then after a while, they start noticing the drama. I don't think any newcomers just come in straight to the drama. I really don't think that happens. I think that the drama only exists between people who've been here a while and have heard everything. And since a lot of people, including myself almost, have, for the most part, we've gotten bored of talking about the actual flat Earth, and debating the science stuff. I'm not always bored with it. There's something new stuff like your mirror stuff. That's something new to talk about, so I'll talk about it quick. But for the most part, a lot of the science stuff is already done, and so this drama that we have now is just all that's left. And I know that that's probably the last thing that you want, right?
Oh yeah, and that's what I've noticed is that everybody has their idea of what the flat Earth is, and so everybody's disbanded, and that was the who it was everybody, who they are. They just all their little groups, and I've tried to talk to some of them and got banned by a lot. But that's a different story.
How do you?
Go ahead.
Yeah. How do you feel about the merit of the AE map?
Well, that's what I initially was, understanding about how it worked, but seeing all this new footage, there's videos and knowing different things, and and so the way the sun works and the moon bowls, it can't be on a actual circular circuit like that. Perfect circle. It has to be some kind of movement in it somehow, however it's doing. And it's not only that, but it's the up and down. So it's got some kind of movement instead of just a perfect circle, all in and out, like the tropical Cancer and the tropical Capricorn deal. It's I mean I'm sure I don't know, I don't really understand now why that's being called that, because to me that's still the old school stuff. I know it moves in and out from a certain one point to another, but I've seen right now it's this far south in the sky where I'm at. No, it's and I know in the summertime it's not real high, but it's a lot higher than it is now. So it's going farther south, not dropping down, but further away that it appears like it's dropping down.
Yeah, I
maybe
believe
it is, maybe it is lowering. I don't know.
But do you think, how important to the AE map do you think the sun and the moon really are, though? I mean, do you think that they have a major part in proving the AE map or disproving it?
Oh, let's see, proving it or disproving it. Well, yeah, it would have an important part, because in that part of it will be null and void of, yes, okay, this does work, and okay, everything else is out the window, or no, this doesn't work, let's go on to the next thing. And that's what we need to figure out. But it's going to be really hard, especially knowing now with how the sun. Now they're saying the sun is not actually there where everybody thinks it is. They're just seeing it, but it's actually a reflection from something else. That
That's
whole
true.
thing that's a mind blowing in itself. Like what? Wait a minute, what? But is only the sun like that? What about the moon? Is that something same thing too? So we're not really seeing it, because a lot of well, I guess even in those one videos, it's always got a haze. Even with the P900s, it's still always got that haze. I mean, you can see a lot really clearer than you normally can, but it's still got that little bit of a haze. But that whole wave thing, I don't believe that. But so you still got that. Maybe that's why you're seeing it's not really what word we think it is, or what it is, and that's why it's kind of always got that haze to it, because it's kind of like that with that refraction, minimal, that refraction of whatever's there. We can't tell in the sun too much because it's so damn bright. I've looked at it for 20 minutes at a time, and I could see it. I can actually see that black spot that's in there. I guess there's three of them, but I can see that one bigger one. So I've just by looking past that brightness, and you can see it. But at the moon, you can see it, but you can look at it longer. And you can see it, but it's even with these videos, it's still got that haze. So it kind of goes along with what I've been reading or seeing too, about how it's not really there. What we're thinking is there.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So if you think, yeah, so it gets really tricky because if you think about the AE projection with the North Pole at the center, okay,
Yeah.
that seems to make a lot of sense. And then I guess back, about a year ago, people started raising the question, well, I guess the Tropic of Cancer is the one in the south, or Capricorn?
Capricorn is up on top, I think. Yeah, because I always remember March, and then Cancer is July, right? Or no, I just remember Capricorn's on top because it's the earlier month. So Capricorn is a March thing, so I just remember it's up higher. So
Okay,
that's
so the Tropic of Cancer. So, the question is, have people ever traveled the Tropic of Cancer and charted the mileage? And even if they have, can we trust that data? I mean, that's a major issue because with the North Pole at the center, that means that the Tropic of Capricorn is going to be one size and the Tropic of Cancer is going to be a vastly different size.
oh yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
And as far as the sun and the moon, they appear to operate consistently year after year, but how do we really know? I mean, I guess we do know because there's monoliths and stuff set up in places that, every July 2nd or something, the sun comes right through this spot and then it makes this thing and like there's places like that in the world.
Oh yeah, they've
But
been keeping track of that for thousands of years,
yeah, I mean,
and it's always
if Earth
it's
really
always
gets
been the thing too. That's another thing, the whole star, the constellations and stuff, and the position of stars. How anybody can think that, we're hurling through space. The whole excuse now is that it's going with us, so of course they're going to be in the same position. And it's like, but yeah, but we're not even in the same position in that situation. So like,
Mhm.
how do the people even think that's possible? Looking back on it, because I remember that, me and friends just hanging out and looking at the stars because years 30 years ago just it wasn't as polluted in Phoenix and there wasn't as much light. So when you're in the city, you're just a little bit outside the city and see stars forever. Now, I mean, I hadn't seen stars in probably 15 years, until I came out here.
Most common excuse I've heard is, oh, those other stars, they're so far away. That's why that's why they're there. That's why they don't appear to change
Yeah,
because they're so far away.
but they seem to rotate above us.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting in a certain pattern too.
Mm-hmm. Big science can't make up its mind. It's nothing but contradictions. I mean, immediate contradictions. Like Einstein's relativity, okay? It just in itself, it nullifies itself. Because how can you say that object A is the one that's moving when it could be object B that is the one that's moving? You don't know. So it's like the whole thing is immediately nullified. And Einstein's relativity gets all this credibility and all this notoriety and all this fame and all this. It's so entrenched in our society when it's just complete logical fallacy, complete and utter bullshit right on his face. You know?
Hey, check this out. This is between 2000. Well, I started looking into all this stuff in like in '96 when I went to school for graphic design, and the first time I ever got on a computer, I was 26 at the time, and I was just like awestruck. And then I started, the internet thing. It was only 3 years old then, because it started up in '93, and so '96 I was learning how to do web design and stuff, and going on the internet, and I have like tons and tons of stuff I just downloaded, and between 2003 and 2005, I started getting like a lot more uh, PDF files and stuff. And I have stuff that I have all Stephen Hawking stuff, a lot Darwin stuff. Um, who else is there? That Einstein, Tesla. I have Tesla. And I have a lot of stuff about all the cults and all the religions and stuff like that. I have a ton. I mean, like thousands and thousands of PDF files. But I remember looking through stuff, and the Einstein stuff. That stuff did not make a damn bit of sense to me. And I was looking at Stephen Hawking. He's just a nut job. The only thing that made any sense to me was Tesla. And I thought that was so weird because I didn't realize who he was, 2003. I didn't know I just read about him, and has all his stuff. I even have the FBI files of all the stuff that they took from his house when he died. And they ended up giving it back to, where's he from? I can't remember where he's from
Germany.
now. Huh?
Germany.
No, Tesla. No, he's from some other country.
Oh, Austria or something like that. Yeah, Vienna,
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. But it's all over there now. But I thought it was weird, now about the flat Earth stuff. 2 years ago, that I was like, now it made all the sense because this stuff is real. Now Tesla stuff was actually reality, the stuff that made sense. Like the Tesla coil and just all this. I remember reading about him doing experiments in Colorado. They say he'd be out in the middle of the desert and the Colorado mountains, and like 50 miles from the town, and they could see. He would do all his experiments with electricity and stuff. They said they would light up the whole. I mean, the city, the Denver or wherever it was, town that was nearby. It would just light it up, and it was like they said it would look like daylight in the middle of the night. The stuff he was working on then. This is like in the 1900s, and so it was this crazy. And I was like, dude, it just, and then the whole flat Earth thing, it just blew my mind. I was like, yeah, no shit, that was the only thing that made sense. Because all the rest of it was just a bunch of garbage.
It's crazy though, man, because the deeper down the rabbit hole we go, like John LeBon. I don't know if you know who John LeBon is.
I've know of them. I think I've tried to watch some of his videos, but they're just. I think a lot of them, the ones I see him are hangouts, and some of the other stuff is just all this mismatched stuff. So I didn't really like see what he's doing, but I know of him. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, he likes to investigate things, and he strongly doubts that Tesla was even what the system is telling us that he was. You know, and it makes you wonder. It's like, okay,
Really?
so there's these accounts, and it's like this. It's like the deeper down the rabbit hole you go, you don't even know whether or not someone like Tesla was real. If you want to be really honest, because how can we trust much of history knowing that there's these satanic scumbags that run everything and teach us all kinds of weird stuff in school. I know that you don't learn about Tesla in school, and that's by design, but then, later on in life, we all find out about Tesla, and you can research him, and it's all public knowledge. It just makes you wonder how much of it's real, how much of it is lies, and how much of the government, how much of that technology does the government already have, and are they going to be able to blame it on Tesla, like some of the bad things that come about because of the technology that they had? Or there's just so many questions about Tesla. We don't know what he really did know, what he really did do, what he really did achieve. We just don't know.
And now that's the frustrating part because there's some sort of saving grace with it all. Is somebody like him, and now we to find out it might have been fabricated, so that no matter what they screw us.
Yeah,
And that is so freaking frustrating.
I know. It's like it's designed. It's just traps. It's just traps after traps. You just keep going down rabbit holes. We know so little, man.
Yeah, and I've been questioning the whole everything in history now. It's like I don't believe any of it no more. And that's like the Caesar or the 300 story. Even all the presidents, everything. You got to really, really, figure out okay, what? Because now I'm finding out that the whole William Shakespeare thing was bogus. That was a big bunch of people that wrote all that stuff, the collaboration of stuff. For some reason, they let one person. It wasn't even his real name, and it was his face is modeled out of just some stranger, basically. And so somebody's, his face is getting a credit. It's a fake name, and it's multiple people that wrote all those stories. It's like, what the
Oh
fuck
yeah.
is going on? Like, really? Which I was
Uh,
never into Shakespeare, but knowing what he was, or what I thought he was, what we've been told, it's like, what the hell?
Well, I mean, it's such the sheer mass of his work. It's kind of like, okay, well, there's no way that one human being had the time to do that in their life, you know?
Yeah, and then Da Vinci too.
hmm And like it or not, the Beatles,
Yeah.
right?
I think is funny about the Beatles, and I thought was, like I've listened to all their music. My mom's a really huge Beatles fan. She had like that. I wish she still would have had them. It's probably worth a fortune. She had one since she was little. The first four albums of theirs, like in mint condition, and she left them in a storage like 20 years ago. I was like, what the fuck? but but yeah, she has a bunch of Elvis records, all original stuff, So I was saying, I've been selling stuff on eBay and making quite a bit of money with all my rock and roll memorabilia, all my death metal stuff. But anyways, that's another story. But back to the Beatles. I was listening to stuff. I've noticed that they've covered every style of music that you can possibly think of. They have a song that's after and modeled after that style of music. And it's just shocking. I'm like, what the hell? These guys, there's nothing you can do that would be any different because these sons of bitches already did it all.
Yeah, I know.
Some version of it, and it's like, man.
I know. It's like, okay, let's give this song, like a Asian feel. Oh, Beatles already did that. Let's give it an Indian feel. Beatles already have 2 songs like that.
Yeah.
You just sound like XYZ, whatever by the Beatles. That just sounds like,
Yeah.
Eleanor Rigby.
And you being into music and stuff, most bands, musicians, they have a certain style of music, and that's what they stick to. And that's blues is blues. You don't hear a blues singer or R&B, singing anything but that. But sometimes they might, recently they've been doing the crossover stuff, but back in the day, that's what you did. And you did Motown did Motown, country did country, rock did rock, and what them damn Beatles, man, they were all over the map with music.
I know. And then there's accusations that, Paul was whatever, died and was replaced. And then there's accusations that some people have theorized. And then just the fact that they've come out with so much music and that so much of it is so well written and so entertaining and so enchanting to listen to. It's like, hey man, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's great songwriters out there, but there's nobody that's that damn good of a songwriter where basically almost every single song they ever made could have been a #1 platinum, triple platinum.
Well, if you go by what Russian Vids says, that's all written by somebody else anyway. So they're just a face, and which I can see a lot of that happening. But it's still, the point is that group got the credit for all this type of music, and it's like, wow. Because I just hearing stuff, like I said, I've had a few of their albums and just listening to it, and just like, man, this is just all over the map. Literally, I keep saying that, but it blew my mind when I really started studying that, listening to them. Like, what the hell's the big deal about the Beatles? And I know my mom liked them, and I really heard a few of their albums when I was younger, but I just never really got into them. But here probably about 15 years ago, which it sounds like a long time ago, but as old as I am, it wasn't very long ago. But I started really studying different styles of music. Music I never listened to. And so to figure out why do people like this crap so much, kind of thing. Which there's a lot of songs I do like of theirs, but most of them I don't like. But I just say from listening to it, it's just all over the map with the styles.
Yeah, I'm right there with you with the Beatles. They do have a couple really great songs, but for the most part, I get bored of them pretty fast. My girl loves them too. She owns all their stuff. I think she has like full anthologies and maybe even some of the rare stuff. But the Beatles are definitely a psyop, man. They are definitely government produced machine.
Yeah,
The Beatles
that's what they've been.
definitely manufactured by the government, and they push agendas, and they were a craze, man. They were a fucking craze. People were just so into them. And I mean, the Beatles were doing the backmasking. They did everything first.
Yeah. And yeah, that's the funny thing you say about the craze. I was watching this documentary. No, it wasn't, because it wasn't bashing. It was just talking about them and their history. And one of the things they talked about, they said that all those girls you see in all the videos, them screaming and stuff, when they're coming off a plane and in concert, they were all paid to do that. And they even admitted on there. They said they're not trying to say anything. They're just talking about how it worked. It's like, what? No way. Okay, because it's like over the top. You've seen the video
Yeah.
footage, and it's like, so you just realize, you see that now. I don't know if you were that before, but if you see it now, you always think that those they were paid to do that. It's like, oh, so there goes your crisis actor stuff back. Even back then, it wasn't crisis, but it was still people paid to do it, falsify stuff, because it was to make them look good. And basically what it was for.
I know. And then like the news media getting a camera shot set up just right of the Beatles coming down the ramp and the girls right here on the side, losing their minds and paying them the money. And then that's the foundation for everything that we're seeing now. I mean, they were already doing it back then. with the advent of the TV and the camera, it took their stuff to the next level, because they were doing that stuff even. I mean, this go ancient history, I guess. You know, people have been setting up false flags and
Well, yeah, the kings did that, and on a lower, that's the big scale to them, is their kingdom. But that stuff happened back then too. If you read up on that and how, like I said, how much of it's true, but from what you read, they were doing the same thing. They were setting up all these scenarios to mislead people. Just it would be in their favor, or make the other side look bad. I mean, it's been going on for forever.
I know. Well, let me go back to some flat Earth stuff with you.
Okay.
So what would you say? So are you currently doubting? You're currently doubting the azimuthal equidistant map, right?
Doubting. I'm questioning it. I'm open to other things because a lot of stuff doesn't make sense. Of how how everything, all the sun and moon do work. I say we can't go rely on that, but just knowing how it's positioned. I mean, how can you see it in different parts of on the Earth? That are should be completely opposite, but you're seeing it at the same time, or just right up on top of each other. It's like, how is that even possible? Especially on your circular circuit, it would make sense that would work, even if you were in close.
Like the corkscrew model that we've all seen on Discovery Channel, where the sun is there and the Earth is corkscrewing around it as it goes, and then the moon is corkscrewing around that.
Yeah.
Spatially, those things are not adding up of what we're seeing up there. But I mean, I don't even like to look up there. What would you say one of the main problems? What would you say like the biggest problem with the AE map really is, as far as you're concerned?
Well, from my research and what I've been seeing, I think the positioning of the land's not positioned, and that's what I'm saying. That I think that's the problem, is the land isn't. I mean, it might be going in a perfect circle, but from what we're seeing from people, or at least people are saying, they're supposed to be wanting to know the truth. I don't seem to be putting false information in, because they're trying to get as accurate as everybody else, and the positioning of everything's not accurate. So I think that might be a problem too, is the land positions are not right.
Okay.
It's not adding up.
It's not adding up though. I mean, like, we don't really know unless we get on an airplane. And then when you're on an airplane, you're so high up, you can't see anything. You're going so fast, you can't really tell. You can't really tell what's going on underneath you. So there's really no.
You can only see so much. See so much. And I said this recent plane trip I took to Oregon. I was on six different planes. Yeah.
Wow. So man, you're well traveled, man. You're flying to Dallas, Denver, Oregon. What's up with that? What are you doing?
Yeah, and then went from Oregon to San Francisco, and then to Dallas, and then back to Mobile. So yeah, I made sure I went. Me and my sister picked that path, so we could go in different parts of the country. That was intentional.
So you were just traveling for fun?
No, we went to see we have another sister that's in Oregon. And we haven't seen them. We have a niece that she's had a few kids, and my sister's wanting to go see him, and our nephew's been having some problems, some stuff going on. And my sister here's got 3 sons, so she feels she has some input, let him know that she understands what he's going through. Cause I don't take our sister up there. She's got 2 sons and a daughter, but she's just been having problems, and my sister offered to go up there, so we all went up there. Me and my mom and my younger sister. So my mom's
sometimes
out there too now.
Sometimes the whole family's got to get involved and set some things straight. I know how that is.
Yeah, he's 16 and just having a lot of issues. So he seems to be doing okay now. I think that helps, because he's never really known us. Because my sister moved up there when he was probably 6. I think she had him in Phoenix, and then he was probably only like 2 months old, and she moved to Oregon. And that was in she was 16, so I was in what, 2000. So I was in 2000, so she's been up there since then. I mean, I've visited a few times, but never really spent no time. And that was when he was younger. It's probably been 8 years since I've been up there. So he was like 6 last time I seen him.
Oh yeah.
So he's like a whole. I mean, he's just a whole different person, which is cool. But You know, he just thought you could. I mean, the whole time we were there, I guess he's being depressed and all this like that. The whole time he was there, we were there. He was just smiling the whole time. You know, he didn't really say much, but he just smile. So that my Rebecca, my sister up there, said she hadn't seen him like that in months and
That's
months.
cool. That's good.
So yeah, so we helped him
So are herbals legal in that state? Aren't they?
in Oregon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. My my brother-in-law had a large quantity of stuff, various types. I think I just said something about it in one of your chats, and yeah, I got very familiar with a lot of different types. So
Oh
yeah,
wow, man.
I know I was shocked. I was like, whoa,
Different colors.
'cause it's been a while since I did anything like that. You know, a couple
Yeah.
number of years,
So he
but
had all these different colors and everything.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
I got a video. He's got a safe, and it's got. I mean, like he's got gallon jars full of this.
yeah.
Because he
Dang.
has a license. He has the license to have it, or medical license.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm probably saying too much, but like I said, it's legal there. I mean, and I think I only seen a couple of them, but there's a couple of the dispensaries. I got a couple pictures of the dispensaries. I was like, what the heck? And they
Did
don't
you
have.
go to did you go to a dispensary with him?
No, I wouldn't be able to go in there.
They won't let you in without a card, right?
Yeah,
Oh, I've always wondered how that transaction goes down.
yeah, you're not. And then when I left Arizona, they started having them there, and it was so strict that they had armed guards. Because I remember seeing this. I would go drive by this one building. I was thinking it was by Home Depot, and there's this little plaza that had like four different businesses, and one of them in the end, there's always this guy, a security guard sitting out there, an armed security guard. So I was at the Home Depot one time. I just pulled up there and was like, so what's going on that you got to be here? I see you here all the time. And then he told me because they didn't know markings. He told me it was a medical marijuana dispensary place, and so it's like, whoa, okay.
They didn't have a sign up top, nothing.
What's that?
They didn't have a sign out front or anything on the
No,
windows.
no. Windows were mirrored, because if you look, it looked like mirrors. I had
Yeah.
that like that tint on there that was mirrored tint, so you couldn't even
Yeah.
see the inside. So I'm sure they had
That
bars
nasty
on.
copper color.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, me and my girlfriend, we went out to Colorado in 2012. It was just awesome, man. Like, so did you stick around in Colorado for a while? Are you familiar
You know
with
what?
Colorado?
No, I didn't. Our flight, we had 5 minutes to get from one end of the airport to the other, and I ran my ass off to get there and make sure that plane didn't take off because my mom's got, he's got a bad knee and older and stuff like that. So we had to walk. They didn't have that sky ride thing you go on some airports. They didn't have that there, and so because I wanted to go to that. I've reading about that, back in the 2000s, early 2000s, about the Denver airport having all those murals and stuff about the apocalypse and all this Masonic stuff and all this Illuminati stuff. I was wanting to see that. I only had 5 minutes to get from one end to the other, so I didn't get to see that. I was so mad because one of the airports we had a 2 hour. I think it was in Dallas. We had a 2 hour layover. No, sorry. It was an hour in Dallas. It was a 2 hours when we were coming back in San Francisco.
It's interesting that the Denver airport didn't want people hanging around for very long. Very
Oh, I know.
interesting.
That was that made me mad.
I saw the blue horse, that they have the death, whatever it's supposed to be, that scary ass horse. Drove right past it.
Oh yeah.
Got the demon eyes. You know what I'm talking about? It's like this big horse statue. There's a name for it. I forget what it's called.
Where exactly is it?
It's as you leave in the Denver airport, your highway exit that you got to take to get out. If you're going, like, I think if you're going east, anything east, you have to take this road out, and you see that horse.
Oh wow.
Massive, like, 2-3 story tall horse, and it's got demon eyes, and it's so scary. It's like,
Keep driving.
yeah, I mean, it's hilarious how occult that fucking airport is, man. It's like over the top. It's like, dude, you guys really, you guys know, hey, government, that there's conspiracy theorists out here, right? And you're gonna build this airport with all this satanic, crazy fucking shit in it. It's just over the top, bro. It's like, it's comical. It's like, wow, man,
Right in your face.
you guys just like shameless, man, right? No shame.
I know a few of the murals they replaced. So,
Oh, okay.
I don't know which ones they are. I haven't seen it in a while, but I did hear about that. Did have that on the news that they were replaced because of
You're too scary.
all the stuff that was going on in those murals. I do have pictures of it from when I was collecting all this stuff about all that.
Yeah. So let's see here. Is there any way that you'd like to present maybe your chemtrail video or anything like right now? I could share the control with you and maybe you could present a video that you want to present. You got anything like that?
You can do it if you can. Want?
Let's see here. Well, I gotta take a break for a minute. I'm sitting in this chair for too long.
Oh, okay. I see.
You see what I'm saying?
I never did any of that presenting stuff yet. I say I'm not no master at this. I just started
Okay.
going into the other chat, the other hangout. I mean,
I'm gonna go to control room. Whoa, why is there two of these? Shouldn't be. Okay, let's see here. Control room. Maybe if I click on you. I'm going to go to present to everyone on you. You with me?
yeah. I was just if I was gonna do it, I was gonna get it set up so you can do it from your end.
Well, I'm just going to present. I'm going on you and I'm saying present to everyone. And I think you'll have control over whatever comes up on your screen.
Okay, let me see how that works.
Don't accidentally turn your camera block off.
Huh?
Don't accidentally, let your camera come on or something.
Yeah. Well, I see it says your entire screen or application window. I want to have just the one where it has my chemtrail one. I have that set up right now. So do I got to go in this first? I got to go in this first. I'll go ahead and try that and see what happens.
I see you.
Do you see it? Oh, I have it. I have it
Yeah.
stopped. I have it stopped on the other one.
Okay, I think I got you presenting to everyone. So even though I'm talking, it's showing you.
Me or my screen?
Oh, your screen. There he goes. There it goes right there. Oh no, now you went to infinity mode again.
How about now?
That's good right there.
Okay, so I got to stay on that. Okay, I see how that works.
How does it work? Tell me.
You can't go back over to the hangout. So if I were to try to mute, I guess I would want to talk through this because there's only a slow music going. I wouldn't be able to go back over to the hangouts to mute myself while this plays. And because otherwise it doesn't finish. That's what I did when you said that. It started, and I seen it do that. All right, so I'll go ahead and play this.
All right, I'm gonna take a break. All right, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette and I'll be back. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Oh, let me go live here. Can everybody see that? I'm not sure who's seen it or not. Yeah, there it is. It's actually some clouds right there, a spot that you don't see. That's actually clouds that it went through itself. And the plane is just above that, just in front of that wing. And there's the one that's going east to west. Tell me that's contrails or chemtrails. Because there's nothing coming off the plane I'm in. I think that's, yeah, you see it right there a little bit more, and I've panned back around. Yeah, you can see it. See it go way, way back there. That thing ain't going away anytime soon. This is just another. It's still going another. I don't know how many more miles farther it was. Yep, that's Denver, just outside Denver, southeast. Coming from southeast, going northwest. God, I wish you could see it just right there. So that's fresh. Okay, how do I get off this now? Yep, I'm not sure how I get off this presenting thing now. Yeah, I turned the sound down because all it is just a part of a song that's playing real low in the background. So what's everybody up to in the chat? Do I really sound that weird? Do I really sound that weird?
I'm back, bro. You with me?
Yeah, how do I don't present anymore?
Okay.
Do I really sound that weird? Yeah, I do sound weird, don't I?
I did not. That's just it's playing back on my phone. Yeah, I don't know, man. You don't sound weird to me. Sorry. I don't know. People, everyone has different voice. I sound kind of crazy. You know, I think I got a real high pitched voice. You with me?
Yeah, I was coughing. I like your voice in your first videos. It's so funny to even sound nothing like you now. But yeah, you go into that YouTube. Hello YouTube. You go into that mode.
Yeah. That's well, you know, I was trying to be professional. I was trying to be professional, bro. You know.
Yeah, that's cool. That worked.
I caught some people's attention. There's a guy out there named Star Gods, and he keeps asking me, "When are you going to come out with some more narration pieces? They're great." You ever heard of Star Gods?
Oh yeah, he's commenting so much stuff. Some of his stuff's cool.